I have never heard anyone ever talk about 1981's GhostKeeper. I myself would have never heard about this film, except that I'm trying to review every single horror film from 1981 as possible. When looking on IMDb, it has very middling reviews. Some praise it to the high heavens, but most tend to bash it, and I mean bash it. So what gives? Is it actually good, or is it just stinky? Maybe it should be forgotten to time. Well, let's find out together. Welcome to the HellBound Horror Show. The opening credits sort of spoil the film's mystery a bit by mentioning the Wendigo. The Wendigo is a cool regional monster from the indigenous people of Canada and the northern portions of the United States. Some describe the Wendigo as a werewolf-like creature, but it can also be described as an evil force or ghost-like spirit. The force can possess humans and make them hungry for human flesh. Of course, like any myth or legend, there are many variations to the story, and that's what makes it interesting and fun. With that bit out of the way, we get the opening credits over scenic, beautiful snow-covered trees and mountains. It's beautiful, but haunting. We see our three lead characters snowmobiling to a convenience store. Through their dialogue, we get some context, but it never actually felt like an exposition dump. They are there to celebrate the new year in a cabin nearby, but these three were tired of the drunk party scene and decided to step out for a bit. They decide to drive around a bit, and they see this old, unused path. They of course travel up it and stumble across an old hotel. Where's the giant hedge maze? No, this isn't the Overlook Hotel. However, you may not be far off by thinking so. Chrissy ends up wrecking her snowmobile, and because of the incoming storm, the trio decide that it's best to take refuge in the hotel and try to fix the snowmobile tomorrow morning. They find that the hotel is empty. However, it's warm in the building. Someone must be heating it, but who? While checking the guest check-in sheet, Marty notices that no one has checked into the hotel in 5 years. They search the hotel looking for a caretaker, but they don't find anyone. Chrissy does find a piano and begins to play. It's isolating to watch the scene, but it's beautiful. Jenny, our lead girl, travels up the steps and finds one of the doors to the room swaying open and closed. She checks inside to find the windows open. That scene is so disturbing. They could have easily gone with something jumping out from the closet, but the mystery would be gone. Instead, we have this notion, this moment of realization that maybe they're not actually alone in the hotel. In the next scene, it is nighttime, and they are huddled around a fire. We get some effective character development, and I don't know what it is, but by this point in the film, I was hooked. And I don't want to spoil anything else, so the plot synopsis stops here just 20 or so minutes into the film. But let me tell you this, there are enough twists and turns throughout to keep you on your toes. The less you know, the better. GhostKeeper has a fantastic setup. It's seriously one of the creepiest openings I've seen in a long time. The location and shooting with natural light really make this film feel believable and isolating. The snow is real snow, and the location is a real location. I have the DVD copy from Code Red, and the picture is scratched to bits. While watching this film, I felt like a little kid again, staying up late and watching a scary movie on my VCR. My imagination was running wild in the darkness of my room and with the darkness on the screen. Unfortunately, GhostKeeper fails to keep the brilliance up. A little over halfway through the film, and it lost me. I don't want to spoil too much, but the film loses its pacing and the bad acting rears its ugly head. The acting is very natural in the first half of the film, and instead the environment takes over and tells the story. As the film progresses and the script requires more from the actors, it sort of feels forced, and it lost me. GhostKeeper feels a lot like Ty West's House of the Devil from 2009. I love House of the Devil. I love the tone of the first half, but the tone changes towards the end. It feels uneven to me, and I wasn't the biggest fan of that tonal shift. Plot-wise though, GhostKeeper is pretty far from House of the Devil, but the feel is similar. There is a tonal shift towards the end of the movie, and some people will just flat out not like it. Now it's time to praise this film for not trying to hold my hand and not trying to explain too much. A lot of things are left unanswered and are intentionally vague. And I love it. You sometimes have an unreliable narrator telling information, and it's up to you to believe things or not. There is a lot of mystery to it, and I really respect GhostKeeper for it. The film has an alternate opening that I need to talk about briefly. 2 years after the film was made, a new opening was shot to try to sell the film to foreign markets. This opening is brief and tries to up the gore and body count early. Now, it's not uncommon for companies to want to throw in a shocking opening to try to sell their film. This, of course, was not made by the director, and he completely disowns it. And so do I. This opening would completely ruin the slow burn of the first act. It feels out of place and makes the film look like it's gonna be a slasher film, which it really isn't. I know that GhostKeeper won't be everyone's cup of tea. It's slow, the acting isn't great, the script isn't great, and the film gets a bit head-scratching at the end, but I still freaking adore this movie. This is my kind of film, and there was a brief time that I was actually creeped out. I don't really get that feeling anymore, so I was super excited about it. It's movies like GhostKeeper that are the reason that I make YouTube videos. I love discovering these hidden gems and doing my small part of bringing them out of obscurity. I don't know if I can fully recommend this film, but if you like House of the Devil for its slow burn and then complete tonal shift, then you might like GhostKeeper. I say check it out. And that's all I have for tonight. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay safe. Take care, everyone.